In this video, I'd like to show you how to seam in stockinette stitch in your knitting. When we seam from the outside of knitting, not from the inside as you would with fabric, but from the public side or the outside. You can see that I've made my figure 8 here, and I show you how to do that in a separate video. And I'm using a contrasting color thread so that you can see a little bit easier how to do this seam. When we seam in knitting, we seam one whole stitch in from the knitting. This will be the first stitch that shows, and this is the inside stitch inside the seam. On the left side here, I've marked off the column of knitting where I'm going to be seaming. You can see that I've got the edge stitch here, and I've got the first stitch of the knitting right here. So to begin seaming, after you've done your figure 8, you're going to go to the opposite side where your yarn is coming out and go in where the yarn is previously coming out and get a bar in between these two columns of stitches. Pull it through. I don't pull tight yet. I want to be able to see what I'm doing. I'm going to get this guide thread out of the way, cross over to the other side, go in the same place where the previous yarn is coming out, right here. We don't want to involve this yarn at all. We want to just push it a little bit out of the way so we can get that next bar inside the first stitch. Cross to the other side in the same place where the previous stitch is coming out, get a bar and pull through. Now if you like to make this a little faster, you can go in where you came out and catch 2 bars. This really is just knitter's choice. Cross to the other side and get 2 bars. I usually go a few stitches so that I can see that my columns are lining up. And then I will pull firmly on that seaming thread to pull it all into position. And you can see where we've got stockinette stitch against stockinette stitch without any break in the knitting. The seam comes together perfectly. And we're going to continue. So I'd like to pull this apart just so that I can see where I'm seaming. Go to the opposite side, needle in the same spot where it came out, get a bar under the fabric, cross over, and I do this again for a few stitches so that I can see where the yarn is, I can see where my nice column of stitches is. A few stitches, and then pull firmly to close up that seam, and you've got a perfect stockinette stitch seam. This would be the same color, but even if it's not the same color in the seam, you can't see it at all. All right, beautiful. You need to try this to finish your own knitting, seaming with mattress stitch, stockinette. It's fun. Try it.